There are some things that AI can be very useful for. So, for example, if you need a little help coming up with catchy headlines, or maybe you like your headlines or your titles, but you want a little extra boost for them, if you're looking for some help generating some new ideas, we all hit that roadblock sooner or later. We all need that help, right? If you're looking for help with descriptions, better naming, I got you covered. There are some really cool tools as a part of the Google Labs TextFX. So we're going to walk through the ones that so far I have found the most helpful, and I'll just show you the other ones in case they are going to be helpful for you. Let's get started. Even if you don't consider yourself a writer or a creative, the reality is we all use words every day to communicate, get our point across, to name things constantly, right? So sooner or later, you're going to need a little help. You're going to want a little boost. You're going to need something to get the juices flowing again. And there's a lot of different tools out there. I won't kid you. But I have been playing in the Google Labs. Google Labs has got all kinds of stuff, so I'll show you that real quick. But specifically the TextFX. So F is in Fox, X is in X-ray. There's a whole bunch of different tools inside of there, but there are 5 that I found that I keep going back to when I need that little extra boost, when I'm just looking for a different way of looking at things. And ironically, there is one that is POV, and it's turned out to be very helpful. So anytime that you just want to test some new ideas, get a little help, and talking to your dog is not cutting it. Not that they don't try. This is the kind of thing that's worth going and checking out. It's the type of thing that your mileage may vary, right? It's very much that kind of a situation. But that said, it takes a few seconds to go ahead and try a couple of them, and you'll be surprised how that spark may come from there. You're probably not going to take what it gives you verbatim, but it might be that thing to get you over that blank page, writer's block, whatever you want to call it, and get you back into the flow of things and get things moving. So let's go ahead. We're going to dive right in and get started with this. Yes, it's Google. Yes, it's Labs. So it is very much a work in progress. So you're going to see things change over time. But also keep in mind that this is a two-way street, right? Part of what they're testing, in addition to their code and their ideas, is also interest level. Right? So if they see some parts of Labs are getting more use than others, if they're seeing people are coming back to them more often than others, then those are the things that are going to get more focus. So if you find something you like, spread the word. Feel free to do that in the comments. What else should I tell you up front? It is Google, right? It is a test. So yes, things may go away. That's also a reality here. So if you do find something that is helpful, if you get an idea from it, do copy it and save it someplace else, because it may not be there tomorrow. This is just life. This is technology. Things change. Don't let that dissuade you from using it. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to bring you over here. And let's make that go away. All right, so just to show you what this looks like when you start out. So this is the Google Labs, and of course the links are in the description as always. All right, so it's an interactive thing. They're always highlighting something here in the middle. Let me get my little tool here. So this here is always, they're highlighting something that they want to get attention to. A part of what they've done with this tool set is, for a lot of them, they've included videos of people actually using them. And I'm finding that very helpful, so I do recommend you checking them out. There's usually a little view button like this. So we talked about the Notebook LM last week. So you can go back and check that, but they've got some nice videos on, how people are using that, because very often we all need that context when we come across something new like this. This doesn't mean you can't use it in your own way, but it just kind of helps get things flowing. So you can see TextFX, that's what we're going to look at, but there's all kinds of different things. This seems to be becoming the central point for all of the tests, all of the betas, all of the experiments that they're doing, hence labs, right? So, I'm coming here more and more just to see what's going on, because it's a mix of different things. And every so often I'm coming in here and going, hey, I didn't know they had that. I'll just really quick go through. So they do, some overviews on it. There's some things that are plugins. There are some things that are standalone tools. So it's always worth coming in here every once in a while and keeping an eye on it. The lab sessions is what I was referring to as far as the videos. So you can watch somebody use it and then you can give it a try yourself. Or if you're like me, you can just go ahead and dive in. Alrighty. So let's go ahead, and I wanted to show you the full example. So when you first come in, I just spun up another account just so I had something that was clean. This is what it looks like when you start. So as always, there's some kind of explanation. You have the option of opting into emails and research invitations. So that would be like early access to new stuff when they release it. You can choose to say yes to that or not. It's up to you. And then, of course, the privacy policy. I'm going to just blow through this. I highly recommend you always read this just so you know what you're getting to, so you understand what's going on. Not that we have any control over changing it, but it does help you understand what it is that's going on. And this is always, good to keep in mind anytime you're online. Here, let me get my other tool since it's not letting me highlight it. Do not rely, on AI or any of those kinds of things to diagnose yourself, for legal advice, all that kind of stuff, right? This is just good life tip here, right? So keep that in mind all the time when you're doing things. This is just for idea generation. Don't bet your life on it. Okay. And then, of course, all this stuff. Obviously, if you say no, then you're not going to be able to play here. Okay. A little explanation about what's going on here. This particular one is using the Palm 2. I would expect to see that upgraded soon, but who knows? Maybe that's how they're testing different things. Okay, so this is what the UI looks like. Over here on the left side is where you can select your different tools. That's all these things here. And then down underneath it, when you have one selected, it gives you a little overview, and then you get the work area. And then over on the right side is where you get your results. And then the pinned, that means that you can save things to refer to later. But like I said, for safety's sake, if you've got something that you really want to save, I would recommend not only pinning it, but copy and pasting it. Notepad, whatever your favorite note-taking tool of choice is. And of course, you can go and we just did a piece on that too a couple weeks ago. So you can go and check out the YouTube channel for that. So the ones we're going to talk about are acronym, sorry. I'm combining words here. So we're going to do acronym, we'll do alliteration, we're going to do chain, we're going to do POV, and we're going to do simile. That doesn't mean that these other ones don't work. I just find that these are the 5 that I'm using most often. So let's start with acronym. So one of the ways that I find acronym to be helpful is, well, first of all, in a lot of the writing that I do, sometimes we're creating new things, right? Particularly with my day gig. So it kind of helps come up with ideas to make it easier to refer to things. Obviously, in the beginning, when you're writing, you're always going to refer to something by its full name. But that may get a little unwieldy over time. So acronyms can be helpful for that type of thing. Now, just for clarity, there's acronyms and then there's initialisms. And really, at the core, the difference is whether or not you can pronounce the acronym as a word. I'm never going to stop that tonight, I guess. Okay. So, for example, FBI, CIA are not acronyms, whereas NASA is, because you can pronounce it. That said, for the purposes of this tool, it's all the same thing. All right? So let's go ahead and get that rolling. So this is handy if you're trying to come up with something to kind of give you fresh ideas. So you can put in a word, or you can put in, a phrase I've even had some success with. We're going to keep using the same thing for these tests just for consistency's sake. So let's say that you had a project that was being called cloud computing. It would probably be like, let's go, cloud computing project. That's probably what it would be, right? That's a nice corporate name for something. The temperature setting, that's how creative you want the tool to be. The higher the number, frankly, the weirder your results might be. I tend to keep this fairly low, but try it both ways and see what works for you. So we've got the word in here. You can get more information about this here. Each one of these tools has one of these things here so that you can do this way. The other way to do it is the way that I'm doing it. So we're going to do it both ways. We're going to do this, and then I'm going to just do cloud. And this is the video of somebody actually using it. So I've got the temperature set pretty low. Let's go ahead and see what it comes up with. So centralized locating, utilizing online density of computations, processing, and information. That sounds very much like a government project or a corporate enterprise project. That's pretty accurate. And so, it gives you the first ones, and then you can click here and you can do, more and more to get different ideas. And then if you liked something, so let's just say like this one I liked, I could pin it over here. You can also copy it so that you can save it someplace else. So let's try it with just one word to see, like, if you're like, oh, we want to use this as our, as our word, what could that possibly mean? Let me. And then you can come up here and you can delete. I don't know why it's not. Let me see again. It is lab. So I just changed so that I can get back in here. So let's say that you wanted to use cloud to mean something, but you needed a little help massaging that into something. Again, I'm going to keep the temperature fairly low. All right, so cloud, clumps of liquid or dusty matter above our heads disappearing, collections of light, undulations, and darkness. Combined localizations observed of unanswered data. Actually, that again sounds like a good corporate project. Computing logic using optical data. Ooh, that's kind of cool, huh? All right, so maybe we'll pin that one too. So you get the idea. It's that you can put in, word or phrase, and then you can get all these variations. And again, it may not be that this is going to be what you wanted, but you may give you that idea, that sparks that you can go ahead and build off of. So if you have an organization, like, and you run projects or events and you'd like to have these kinds of things, so, like if you're running a bike club, maybe you would want to do bike or, ride or something like that. And then see the different combinations it would give you. I do think, not that they've asked, but I do think that it would be helpful if we could give it some sort of context, right? So just because I said cloud, maybe I wanted meteorological type things, or maybe I wanted, something for a group of people who like to do creative writing. I think over time that type of thing will show up here so that the results you get are a little bit more focused. But it does give a pretty good collection of different things, and you can keep hitting the show more to get different things. So it totally works. I just think we would get to our combinations a little bit faster if we could give it a little bit more information to work off of. But again, it's labs. It's going to get there eventually. And this is a good place to start. All right, so let's go ahead now and take a look at the alliteration one. Get this out of the way. Alliteration is this one. And again, you got all this information here, and you can check out all the details here. Okay. But basically, so here, like, you're going to give it a topic, and then you're going to look for words that start with. So let's say the topic is creative writing, and you want words that start with a C. Right, and again, I'm going to take the temperature down. You know what? Let's just for fun, we'll leave the temperature kind of high for this one and see what it comes up with. Now you notice it kept the previous one, right? So I can go back to the one I was working on if, sometimes when you change courses, your brain goes like, oh wait, let's go back. That I just thought of something new for that. So it does keep the previous one, but now we're working on this one up here, and it's giving us some ideas to work with. So we can go ahead and again, you can expand it and you can look at it, and it's giving you ideas that start with that letter, and then you can do different combinations of it. Let's do it again with a lower setting and see what it comes up with. And not a whole lot of difference for this one. So just for giggles, let's go ahead and try the cloud computing one, because I like, when I'm playing with something new like this, I like to use the same thing in different tools just to see. It's funny, this is not letting me write over things. I have to leave and come back, which is not the end of the world, but it's just a little weird. All right, so cloud computing, and let's say we want words that start with M, just to be random. Okay, so it's given us some stuff here. Not feeling a lot of alliteration on this, because alliteration is using the same letter over and over, but again, it could be the material I'm feeding it. When I was playing with it yesterday, I was getting more alliterative type things. But still, it's something, again, to help you get some more ideas. And again, you can check out the additional information and you can watch somebody use it, which is always a good way to learn more about it. So let's go to the next one, which is chain. So the idea here is that you're going to build a sequence of words that build off of the last one, right? And again, we do have the information here. So fresh fruit, orange, orange juice, blender, blah, blah, blah. So let's go ahead and try this one again. And we're going to do, let's do cloud computing again. And let's set the temperature to 2. Cloud computing, computer, desk, work, effort, exhaustion, fatigue, sleep. So for me, this is the kind of thing that my brain loves. Like this is always the kind of thing that gets me out of whatever I'm blocked by. Because by giving me these different words, it gives me a different way of thinking of things. So this, for me, this has been a regular visit for me because it kind of gets things rolling. And especially because right now I'm working on 3 different projects that are very, very different. So when I'm having to write something about one of them, I'm finding this is a quicker way for me to reset my brain and move it from one topic to the other because the topics do not overlap at all. So for what it's worth, that's how I've been using this. So let's try another one just for the heck of it. Let me go and clear that out. So let's try the bikes, right? So let's try bicycle. I can spell, honest I can. There we go. And I'm going to put the temperature like in the middle. Let's let it get a little bit creative. Stop following my mouse. Wow, it's really attached to my mouse. Let's see, can I tab there? All right, we're going to let it go nuts. Oops, sorry, let's get that off of there. So bicycle, pedal, bike, path, hiking, gear, backpack. So that's, if you were looking for ideas, if you were looking for a topic to write on, or if you're looking for keywords, if you're looking for maybe ideas for like a social media posting, this could be a handy way to kind of get that mindset going for you. So that is the chain one. All right, so let's go ahead now to POV. So this one is also a favorite of mine right now. So this gives you the means of evaluating a topic through different points of view. And again, we have the information here. So it gives you different ways that people would come about something, would think about something like this or come to something like this. So again, we're going to do cloud computing because we're starting with consistency here. All right. And I don't know why the temperature thing is like so in love with my mouse all of a sudden. I do not understand, but okay. So it's a way for big corporations to save money. That's definitely a point of view. It's the best thing since sliced bread. It's the future of computing, or it's a fad that'll die out. So because it only came up with 3 because I gave it 0 on the temperature. So let's try it again with a temperature of 4. Or I guess we're going to go to 1. Okay. Ooh. Well, that glitched. Let's try that again. All right, so that's a 7. It's a security nightmare. It's a security nightmare. It's a security risk. So creativity here was pretty big on being negative. It's a way for corporations to spy on you. But you know what? These are valid because these are different ways of thinking about it, right? It's just somebody else's computer. Not wrong. It's like renting a car instead of buying one. So you see that if you're looking for ideas, point of views to consider or address when you were trying to write something, this is coming up with a nice variety of things. It's the best thing since sliced bread or maybe even sliced pizza. Leave it to the geekies to come up with the pizza angle. It's the future of computing or just a fad. It saves money on IT. So lots of different angles on that one. Let me go back here again and let's do bicycle again. I can spell. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Oh, it didn't keep it. There we go. All right, let's leave it on 7 and see what it brings us. Bicycles are a pain in the ass to maintain. They're a pain to ride in the rain. They're a great way to get in shape. They're an efficient mode of transportation. So this is definitely coming at this from different points of view. And, again, it's got an opinion for sure, which, you know what, people have opinions on everything. So I think this does a good job of reflecting that. Ultimate symbol of freedom, that's nice. But you notice when I gave it just like a 0.1, and you can always see the temperature you set up here. Here, let me highlight that for you. So up here, it's showing me what tool I used and what the temperature setting was. So when I gave it a temperature setting of 0.7, I got more options. It gave me 16 results, whereas when I gave it a tighter one of just 0.1, it only gave me 4, which is fine because I was telling it to be more specific, more on point. All right, so the next one we're going to do is simile. So this is to create a simile about a thing or a concept. Again, we've got all the different examples here. And we will go ahead and try cloud computing again. And let's set this to that. And let's see if so just as a tip, right now, because it's acting weird about my mouse, I'm using the tab key to get to the run. So let's do one that was set to 2. And here it's giving me similes for cloud computing. So it's like a magic carpet that can transport you. It really likes the magic carpet thing. So let's go ahead and do it at a full 1 point. Okay, and it does give, again, it gave me 8 this time, and last time it only gave me 5. So it's like a public utility for the 21st century. It's an invisible force field that protects your data from hackers, maybe. It's a giant filing cabinet that is accessible anywhere with an internet connection. That's pretty accurate, actually. I like that one. So again, different ways of looking at it. Again, pro and con. And let's do bicycle again. And we'll do 2. So this one at 0.2, it gave us 6 results. So you can see that here. I know it's a little light, so it might be hard to see, but it is easy to see when you're actually using it. So down here, it's telling you how many you got. So it's like a pair of scissors with 2 wheels and a seat in between. Okay, that sounds a little painful. Very big on the scissors one. But again, each time you do this, it will give you slightly different results. It's wings for your feet. That's kind of nice. I know some bike people would believe that. 2-wheeled freedom machine. There you go. So here we go. We're going to turn it all the way up and see how many results we get. And so we got 8 back this time. The trusted steed, always there to carry me where I need to go. Bird in flight with wheels. So lots of different combinations. And that's the whole point here. Like I said, you're not really going to take the things it gives you and just use it out of hand. This is very much about throwing some ideas around, giving it a test drive, seeing what ideas it sparks for you, because that's really what the point of this is to help you with your brainstorming, to help you come up with titles or taglines or keywords or just different ways of looking at things, right? Sometimes when we're working on something, we get very tunnel visioned on it. And this is a way to break out of that, because by looking at it from different points of view or letting different words or phrases spark different ideas for you, it may take you in a completely different direction or add more depth to what it is that you're doing. So it gives you a way to improve and enrich the writing that you're doing or any of the content that you're building. It doesn't have to be writing. It could be a script for a video. It could be art that you're creating, right? This is about getting those ideas into your head and then letting the human brain do what it does best as far as being creative and putting these things together in ways that is going to work best for your audience, your goals, whatever it is that you're doing. Usually there's an overlap there. It also gives you the freedom to do some experimentation, right? Because by presenting these different ideas to you, it gives you those different angles and narratives to think about. And it's a way to have fun, frankly. Like the POV thing, and the chain in particular for me, like that's a little free like playtime for my brain. It loosens things up. It freshens my point of view. It makes my brain happy, which can get you out of a rut, right? Or it can be a great starting point. If you're having trouble starting on a project, but it needs to get done, that deadline is going, your boss is standing over you going, where is it? This kind of thing can jumpstart you into getting it done and coming at it from a really effective and efficient way, without losing a lot of time. So it is definitely, it's work in progress. You're going to come in on some days and one thing is going to work better for you than others. There are going to be new things that pop up. Don't be afraid to click on them and try them. You can't break it, right? I mean, you saw, like, I had some glitchy things happen, so I just refreshed it and I started again. It was not the end of the world. Don't be afraid to try things. Don't be afraid to try them more than once, because very often this kind of thing is not something that will become a part of your workflow automatically. But if you go back to it a couple of times, a week, and then the next week, maybe, again, and then next month, maybe even more, you will figure out different ways to make it work for you. And the tool will be getting better. So it's going to be giving you better things back. And so over time, this is going to be the kind of thing that, again, does not replace you, does not replace your brain, will not mean that you don't have to work, but it may make the work more fun. It may give you a chance to branch out in ways that you've never considered before, or just having fun, right? So if you ever are feeling stuck or if you're looking for something fresh, I do highly recommend going and giving these kinds of things a try. If you have ideas for other content that you would like me to cover, if you have questions about this type of thing, you can reach out to yourtechcoach.com. There is a form there. You can let me know what topic you want me to cover, anything you need a little bit more information about. Also, if you need a consult, if you need help figuring out, what technology to buy, what tools to use, how to use some of these kinds of things in your world, please don't hesitate to reach out. You can set up a consult. I'm more than happy to get on a call with you and we can work through that for your particular situation. Because again, it's just a matter of, okay, learning to ride the bike, right? You didn't get on a bike the first time and get it all working, right? You didn't get it all figured out. But you did it and you did it again. And before you knew it, you were riding all over town. And it's the same with this kind of thing. Like you try it, you might feel a little weird, might not feel completely comfortable. The good news is you're not going to fall and scrape your knee. So that's a win. But the more you do it, the more you try it, the more you give yourself permission. This is key. Give yourself the permission to try it. If it doesn't work, you try something else. That's okay too. But give yourself the chance to try it. And also, I do recommend that you check out these tutorial ones, right? So watching somebody who's using it professionally. Of course, I'm doing yellow on yellow. Here, let's go to a different one. Oops. That off. I think this one's a different color, right? There we go. So you go in and for the different tools, they've got different people doing it. But you can go in, you can watch these and you can see how people are using them. And this is somebody that worked with them on the different pieces. So I won't play this whole thing, but he goes through and he gives examples and they're all short. They're like a minute and a half or so, but it does help, I find, to go ahead and watch somebody doing it real. Because as they talk you through what it is that they're doing, it does help you understand how you might be able to extrapolate that and use it for yourself. Their use case is probably not going to be a one-to-one match to your use case that way. It's going to be more like this, right? But that's okay, because the point is to just show you one example of how somebody uses it, and then you can take that and customize it to how you need it to work. And that's always the key. If you'd like to stay on top of things, and I do have some things coming in 2024 that the folks on the mailing list will hear about first, go to yourtechcoach.com/mailing list. This is not a sales thing. This is a way for me to communicate with you. The folks on the mailing list always hear first what it is that is coming down the pike. But you won't get like third parties, emailing you or selling you things. That's not the purpose of it. It's a way for me to communicate with you. And this tells me, you know, who wants to know what's going on early and first. So all those folks will hear what's coming first, and you are welcome to join that list. Of course, I will tell everybody over time, but this is just a quicker way for me to let everybody know. And like I said, I'm going to just bring you back here for a second. Whoops, make that go away. So I do recommend coming back here. Like I said, there's extensions for Bard. There's all kinds of other things that are constantly being added here. So do come and check this out. The links are in the description, but that is a good place to go and stay on top of what is happening. Now, for you folks who power through to the end of my videos, first of all, thank you. I appreciate it so much. And so, you know, I like to give you a little extra. So I'm going to show you something else that I have been playing with. For me so far, that's just been fun, but I could see how this could be really useful for like little snippets and stuff. And that is, there is this music thing in here. So let's go take a look at the music thing. Now, I'm not going to play it through. I'm just going to do real quick. But if you go into here, oh, that's going to play one for me. Let's go down and find where the music one is, okay? So describe a musical idea and hear it come to life. Okay, so blah, 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 all this usual stuff here. Got it. So you can put an idea in here, right? A melodic rock tune, then a slow tempo, plays drums, blah, blah, blah. And then you can have it generate, and then it will start to play. And you can choose down here, you want it to be soothing, you want it to be jazz, you want it to be funk, you want it to be soul, you want it to be saxophone. So you could say a short, catchy tune that makes tech happy and fun. I have no idea what we're going to get for this. I won't be able to hear it, but so you put that in here, and then you can choose what you want it to be. Let's go funk. All right, and then we generate it, and then it will give you the thing. So that's just something else to try. There we go. It takes a couple of seconds, but then you get the results over here. Chips help you explore other ideas. Okay, that's cool. The chips thing, by the way, is something that they're also doing in Google Docs, you'll notice. So again, it gave me a 30-second piece. You can download it. You can adjust settings on it. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that you can do with it. You can share. But it's just something fun that I wanted to throw it out there. Like, if you... Obviously, you're not going to, you know, if you're a musician, this is not going to do it for you. But if you need like a short little music bed for something that you're working on, and maybe you don't have the budget to go to like Epidemic Sound or something to get, this is something that you can try and play with and come out with some ideas for, or something quick that you can use. I will say that like it does turn into a bit of a rabbit hole for me because it starts to be fun to just like play with it and do different things with it. But some of the stuff I've gotten out of it is not half bad. So it is definitely worth going and checking out. However, I'm going to give you one extra one because I know not everybody's into music or might not need music. So I do want to let you know one more thing about this. And that is that they do have a Discord. So if you are interested in all this kind of stuff, and if you're liking, you know, where some of these are going and you want to have some input on it, if you come up here, this one here is the Discord invitation. So you can click on that, and that will get you access into the Google Labs Discord, where you can go ahead and you don't have to actively partake in the conversations, although I highly recommend that you do, because again, if you're finding something useful, or if you're finding something almost useful and you're thinking that maybe this change or this addition will be helpful, that's a great way to communicate that. But it also lets you see how other people are using it and get other ideas on how to use it. So there you go. 2 bonuses for this one of things that you can go and check out. Alrighty. So there we go. That is what I have for you. I do hope that you will go and check those out. This is the end of the year, so this is the last show for 2023. We will be back in 2024 doing things exactly how we've been doing them. Once a week, we do this show. It's Friday nights. I've been testing 7:45 p.m. I may go back to 8. You can let me know in the comments if you have a preference. As always, you are always welcome to go ahead and join us in the comments while we're live, or if you're catching this on a replay, you can go ahead and comment. Let me know what you're using, what your favorites are, how you're using it, and also if there's any questions that maybe I can help you with. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thanks for cruising by. Uh, this is the kind of thing that, like, being geeky, I get excited about, but I see a lot of potential for all of us to use these kinds of things because they're creating them as a single focus. Yes, you can do this kind of thing in ChatGPT and Bard and all that, but you have to get really geeky in order to get the results out. So by having them build out these little tools for us, it makes it much easier to pick one that's going to do what you want to do, get in, and get the results that you need. So do give it a try. I hope you let me know how it goes. I hope everybody has a great end to their year, and we will see you again next year. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.